Hey, we're live. Hey, everybody. Welcome into the Flippin Hippos YouTube channel. Before I start rambling tonight, let me know that you can see me and hear me okay. And then we'll wait for some folks to come in, and then we'll get into the topic. So it is Tuesday, June 8th, and this is the second week of June. So if you're doing the June challenge, I will be coming out hopefully tomorrow or later this week, a check-in video for that. If you're not participating in the listing challenge, you should be. I really feel like the listing challenge holds people accountable and helps us all to set goals and stick to those goals. And those goals are what are going to help you become a reseller, full-time reseller. So we're going to talk a little bit about that tonight when we get into the topic, the things that you should be doing, have to do, need to do, and must do to be a successful full-time reseller. And part of that we'll be talking about is setting goals and holding yourself attainable and doing all that good stuff. So make sure you're doing the listing challenge. You don't have to have started at the beginning of the month or the beginning of the challenge. Y'all can jump in wherever y'all are. All right, let me say hi to everybody. Let's see, we have Marilyn from Arkansas, welcome in. And Mohammed is here, welcome in. Believable Blessings. And hey guys, my mods are here. Bill and David of Gnome and the Frog. Hey guys, a very special hi to Bill and David, who I just visited last weekend and were kind enough to let Keith and I stay with them. And they helped me unload my storage unit out there so we can move forward with the move to Florida. So thank you guys so much. I love you guys. Y'all are the best. And then my other mod there is Robert, the Zombie Bargain Hunter, who's also a very good friend of mine, who we ended up calling over the weekend and bugging. But they got the blue wrenches there. You can help. You can ask them for help. You can help them too, I guess, if they need it. Karen's here. Welcome in, Karen. So we are going to talk about what it takes to be a full-time reseller. Everyone has to start somewhere. So if you're a hobby seller right now or you're a part-time seller, this video, this live show, if you're watching now, if you're watching later on the replay, it'll be a video. This is still going to be full of really good information for anybody who's ever thought that they might want to do this full-time. They might want to take this more seriously. Maybe turn your hobby into a full-time job or a small business. And anyone who's wanting to build their reselling store into an actual business that can support them so they can leave their job and live their best life by being their own boss and doing whatever they want with their lives. I cannot express how much better my life is since I've been able to do this full time. You know what? Hey, Danny's here. Say hi to Danny. Danny helped us too. So thank you, Danny, for helping us over the weekend. You now have a blue wrench, Danny, by the way. So Danny's also a mod, guys. So this video is going to be helpful for anyone. If you're already a full-time reseller or you're just getting into being full-time, you'll find tips and hints in here to help you continue to grow and become what you can be. And if you've ever thought about it or wanted to know more about it, this will help you out. But y'all, I'm telling you, I had a very fulfilling job before reselling. I really did. I worked in recreational therapy and nursing homes for a long time. Then I did direct care, taking care of adults with disabilities. I worked in the day programs with them and just helped them with their quality of life, their recreational activities, job skills. We got them into the workforce. And then I worked in the homes with them, doing their actual hands-on care as far as their activities of daily living. Those of you that are in nursing, you know what ADLs are. We helped them take their medications and their showers and just help them live a better life. And I loved that job, and I did it for like 20 years, and I was very fulfilled. I actually was probably One of those that got way too attached to the people I took care of and I interacted with every day, as well as their family members. They came to become a part of my lives, and I fell in love with them. And it was always hard for me when one would pass away or I would be moved to a different home or whatever. But I really did care about them a lot, and it was one of the most fulfilling jobs I've ever had in my life. And that aside, I still had to answer to someone else. I still had to work the schedule I was told to work. If I was told to work weekends, second shift, third shift, first shift, 14-hour days, 16-hour days, that's what I had to do. I didn't have a choice. I loved what I did, and I loved the people I took care of, but I hated the fact that someone else told me where to be, when to be, how to be. At the day program, you often would have to wait hours for relief to come take care of your guys that you were with, so you could go to the restroom. You were told when you could take lunch. I had to, as an adult, ask other adults for permission to take a day off. That part of it I didn't like. And so since becoming full-time, I go to bed when I want. I wake up when I want. I work when I want. I take off when I want. I do what I want. I am able to work in the morning and then take the afternoon off and then finish up at night. Or get up early, bang workout, and take off in the middle of the day. Take off a weekend whenever I want. I work my business around my life rather than working my life around my business. And that is the actual freedom of being a small business owner or working for yourself as a reseller. You build your life and then you build your work around your life rather than the other way around. And there's this old expression that I really love. I used to live to work. Now I work to live. And the difference is I don't just live my life just to go to work every day and make money to pay the bills. Now I work to make the money to live the life that I want. So there is a lot to say positively about being your own boss and running your own business. But it's a lot of work, and a lot of folks don't know that. It is not glamorous. It is not get-rich-quick scheme. You're not going to just decide you're going to be a reseller and go thrifting every day and yard selling every day and go shopping every day and just magically have tons of money. You're not going to start out at the beginning with 10 items from a thrift store and wake up tomorrow and buy a new house and a BMW. That's not how it works. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme, and you will work harder for yourself than you've ever worked for anyone else, ever. But the difference is, at the end of the day, that money you're making pays off your debts, buys your luxury items, pays for your kids' futures, lines your pockets, whereas you used to work really, really hard and maybe not even really get a raise very often, but the executives at the top were living the life because of the hard work you put in. So you are going to work harder for yourself than you ever did for anyone else, but you're doing it for yourself. It is hard. It is not glamorous. Is thrifting fun? Yes. Is shopping fun? Yes. Is interacting with the reselling community and making friends and going to eBay Open and all of that fun? Yes. Is taking photographs always fun? No. Is dealing with customers on eBay and calling in eBay when you need help from their customer service fun? No, it's not. Is shipping always glamorous and fun? Nope. And listing is, I like listing, but that's because I'm weird and I'm OCD. I like when I sit down to do a task and I know exactly what I'm doing and I'm doing it over and over again. But this job is hard. It's not, I'm going to go to a thrift store and then be a millionaire. That's not how it works. So let me catch up on the chat, and then we're going to talk about my notes. I got a lot. It is a blessing to do this for a living. Absolutely. Hey, Georgia, I see you peeking in. Lori's here from Indiana. Oh, how sweet. You look especially cute. Thank you. I don't know why. Lucille, did I say hi to you? And Bobby, welcome in. Nicole, Karen, welcome in, everybody. Thanks for showing up. I signed up to do some vendor fairs, thinking as it is taking too much time from online work. That's only something you can decide for yourself. You have to weigh what you're making there versus what you could be making at home and how much you need to make personally. Yeah, it takes some time to get used to it, and it's definitely when you have someone telling you where to go, when to be, what to do, and then suddenly you have to tell yourself to do that stuff. It is definitely different. Yeah, I could see Megan being like that, loving her patients. Absolutely. Danny's wife works in a nursing home, if y'all didn't know. Blessed. Yes. Absolutely. I love this business. Like tonight, I will be watching the Sixers game while I list. I couldn't do that at my job. I shared my closet while I played. That's funny. Yeah, I watch true crime all day. I absolutely binge watch murder shows, which are my favorite. And I used to never get to watch them that much. And I play them in the background all day. Absolutely. Robert's fiddle farting around. I work full-time on several platforms. I'd say at least 10 hours a day. I still have family that does not support what I do. I giggle on the inside. Yeah, that's what you have to do. I mean, Keith's grandparents still don't grasp what we do. They're not supportive, but they absolutely don't understand the concept that people shop online and that you can make money making videos. Because to them, the only way you can be on TV or making videos is if you're a movie star or whatever. It's harder for the older generations to understand, I think. Okay, so if you want to be a successful full-time reseller, I should add the word successful. All right, Danny, thanks for popping in. Appreciate it. And thanks again for helping over the weekend. Anybody can be a full-time reseller, but you got to be successful. You can't just say you're going to be a retime seller. Sorry, guys. A full-time reseller and, sell one thing a week and list 2 things a month and watch Netflix the rest of the time, and then your bills aren't getting paid, and that's not the way to be. So if you want to be a success, there are some things you need to do before you make the leap. Then there are things that you must do after you take the leap. There are some things that you cannot do ever, and ways that you cannot be ever, or you will not succeed. And there are things that you should be doing and you should have. So let's just start with what you need. Before you quit your job and throw caution to the wind and do this full time, you really should. No, you need to have a savings. I absolutely recommend 6 months to a year of your expenses saved up. Just because when you first jump in, if you're not built up enough to just start making what you used to make at your job and making up your wages, or if we have a summer slowdown, or if sales are slow, you want to have that cushion. That should go for anybody, not just reselling. You guys know I love Dave Ramsey, and I am a huge supporter of his system and a huge proponent of his ways of doing things. And that's the next thing on the list. You got to have a budget, but you can't just jump into this and not have a savings. Everyone should have a savings. You never know what's going to happen. Something could happen that you need money for at any time. All 4 tires on your car could blow. You could have a couple of slow sale days in a row. You could have an emergency vet bill for your pet. You could have a flood in your house. You could need new glasses and your insurance doesn't cover enough and it's expensive. These bad boys cost me $800, and that was because I got rid of the insurance. What they covered was my bill would have been more. So they didn't run through the insurance. They actually just gave me a bunch of discounts. But I needed these because I'm blind as a bat and I was having migraines. So I was able to purchase those because I do this full time and it's not going to kill me to do that. But they better last like 5 years. I take really good care of them. I look like I do, right? Like I'm taking good care of these, but no, I do. But you never know what's going to happen. So you need to have a savings. You need to have a budget so you know what your savings should look like. So everyone should have somewhere written down in a notebook paper, somewhere on a spreadsheet or in their phone, this is all my bills for the month, and this is what they cost. This is what I spend on groceries. This is what I spend on extras. Like if you like to go out to eat once a week and that's part of your budget, that's fine, but write it down as part of your budget. Entertainment can absolutely be a part of your budget if you can afford it. Please don't go out to eat and go out to movies if it means not paying a bill. You know what I mean? You got to have your priorities. So you got to have your bills, your groceries, your gas, your entertainment, your personal items, unless that's part of your grocery bill. Some folks have, like we have, 2 separate budgets. We go to Walmart once a month for all the big packs of toilet papers and paper towels and the soaps, laundry soaps, dish soaps, all that stuff. That's one monthly budget for Walmart. And then we have a smaller weekly budget just for food. And we do menu planning. We have a menu on our refrigerator every week that says what we're going to eat each day. And then we have a whiteboard next to that where if we notice something is low, we write it on the board. If we're running out of something, we write it on the board. If I get a hankering for something, I haven't had orange juice in a while and I feel like getting it next week, I write it on the board. And then before we go grocery shopping, we make a menu. We build our grocery list off of what we need to make those meals. And then we add in the stuff that we eat for lunches, drinks, and whatever's on the whiteboard. And we stay within our budget that way. Very easy to stay on a budget with your shopping if you menu plan and keep track of what you have. If you're constantly running out of stuff and taking last minute trips out to the store multiple times a week, that can get to where you're spending more money because you're never going to just buy the 1 or 2 things you went there for. You're going to end up buying more. You're spending more gas. You're spending more time. I absolutely recommend the system I use so you can get everything you need once a week and you're not running out. Megan says, I use the non-supporters as motivation to succeed. Keep hating and I'll keep paying the bills. Yeah, girl, go for it. Some people don't get it and they never will. Do they not realize when they buy it on eBay, it's from people like us? No, there are actually people in the world who think they're buying from eBay the same way you would buy from Amazon without the third-party sellers. There are people that don't get that. Okay, so make sure you have a budget. Everything you spend money on every single month. I don't care what it is, if it's part of your budget, if you got to put dog biscuits on there, if you like to drink beer, if you like to have, alcohol in your house, whatever you spend money on, that should actually be written down as part of your budget. This is and if you don't have a budget yet, you can create one by taking a couple of months and writing down what you spend and what you're spending it on and keep track of it. And then you can get rid of stuff that's frivolous. Like, I don't need to buy a coffee every day if I buy a Keurig and I can make it in a to-go cup. You know what I mean? So keep track of what you're spending. Write down everywhere you spend your money. Make yourself a budget. Then you know how much you need every month to live on. And then you want to save up 6 months to a year of that into a savings account. A lot of folks that are saving towards becoming full-time resellers still work another job and just use all of their eBay money for that savings and their job to pay the bills as usual. And then when you have that savings and your business is built up, then you can make that leap. But I absolutely don't recommend making it unless you're in a situation like I was where I got hurt at work and I just couldn't work anymore. It was sink or swim. And that's a little scary. You need to have a clear idea of how much money you need to make, obviously. So you need the budget. You need to know how much you're making now and how much you need to make at reselling to make up for that wage loss, to make up for what you made at your job. And if you need to replace $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month, $5,000, it's whatever you need. Everyone's situation is going to be different, but you need to have a clear idea of what you need to make so you can work towards that. You need to have drive and self-motivation. Not everyone is cut out for this, and that's okay. There's absolutely nothing wrong with someone who doesn't have self-motivation. Not everyone does. There are some people in this world who are not a type A personality who need the stability of going to a job and clocking in and clocking out and getting that paycheck every week. There are just some people in the world that need that don't have that kind of drive and self-motivation to make themselves work every day at home. There are some people that just can't do it, and there's nothing wrong with that. It takes a certain type of personality to be able to say, I'm at home and I don't have to get out of my pajamas, but I still need to work, and I have to force myself to do my job every day. Another thing you need to do is also consider insurance. You can shop for it online, just like you do car insurance. You can look around for it. But if you're the breadwinner and you have insurance through your job, that's something you're going to need to replace. So insurance, and you set aside money for your taxes, because your taxes aren't going to come out anymore. They come out of a paycheck, but now you're responsible, and then you have to file quarterly. You don't have to, but there's a penalty for not doing it. And if you don't do it for so long and get so many years with the penalties, it can, I'm not saying it is or absolutely is a fact, but it can be a red flag to the IRS to audit you. Just save yourself the penalty. Keith and I paid the penalty the first couple of years, and that was dumb. So now we're filing quarterly. It's very simple to do. You guys can ask a CPA or someone who's more authoritative on taxes to help you with that. I always say you have to be hungry for this. So if you're just kind of lackadaisical about it and you're kind of like, maybe I just want to resell because to me it sounds like fun. Like, I'm just going to shop and I'm not really going to have to work. I can just go shopping and hang out at home. And no, you're not going to make it. You have to be hungry. You have to be starving. You have to want this. So Robert's a liar. What he just said. He is the most self-motivated person I know, other than Megan and Winnie. Those two will work beyond, I think, the taxations of most normal humans. But you got to be hungry for it. You got to want to succeed. You got to want to have a business. Guys, you got to have realistic expectations. I'm saying that in trying my hardest not to be snotty boys, but you gotta have realistic expectations. You are not going to get rich overnight. You're not going to make millions. You're not going to have a BMW in the first year. I mean, maybe, but be realistic. Know what you're getting into. And then you want to, build up your business before you quit your job. So you want to have all of these things in line. You want to have a savings account, know your budget, a clear idea of how much money you need. The kind of person who has a really good work ethic, really self-motivated, going into this with realistic expectations. And you can build your business up while you're still at your job. Hey, Thrifty Space Queen, welcome in. And then you can quit your job. But now you're a full-time reseller. Here's what you must do. You have got to, and you could be doing this ahead of time. Like, you can be doing all of these things before you quit your job, but you must research. And your research is going to depend on what kind of personality you have and what you like to do. If you want to sit for hours on the back end of eBay and Terapeak and go to tons of sales and comp everything and learn that way, you can. You can buy everything under the sun. That's how Keith and I learned. We bought everything super cheap and then found out what was poop, what was good, and what wasn't. You can watch tons of YouTube, but I also recommend working while you watch, so you're not just sitting and watching YouTube all day. But you can watch a lot of YouTube and learn from myself and other trusted people. Robert's really good with Plush. Obviously, you should be watching Rockstar Flipper. He goes into more the business, tax, and money side than I do. On Instagram, you've got Bill and Dave of Gnome and Frog and Megan Mawinnie, who know a lot. But you can do the research that way. You could buy guides. You could... I already told you guys you could do all the research yourself, but use Terapeak, Sellhound, eBay, use everything to learn what brands are good, sell-through rates, what sells the fastest and for the most, what's poopy, what's not poopy, what's good, what's bread and butter. You have to decide if you want to have a volume-based business, which is, I think, more realistic because it's harder to find higher end items. But all of that you're going to have to do on your own or with help. And by help, I mean you can buy guides, you can watch YouTube channels, you can join Facebook groups, and just lurk, read, listen to other people and learn that way. You're going to have to source. So you must source if you want to be a reseller, because you got to list every single day. Hi Debbie, welcome in. In order to be successful and have sales that are consistent, my throat is dry, I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. To have sales that are consistent, coming in every day, you've got to be active every day. And that counts from Poshmark, Mercari, eBay, even with YouTube. If I don't put out a video for a while, I can definitely tell on the back end when I get my ad revenue. I can tell when I've put out more videos and when I haven't. It's just that way for everything. If you're doing affiliate links, no matter what platform you're on, you got to be active every day. On your selling platforms, you need to be listing every day. So you've got to have stuff to list, which means you have to be sourcing. You have to work every day. You don't have to work all day every day. You could have one designated day a week off. You could have a half day off, but you still got to work every day. And by that, I mean, even if you decide, like we just took this last weekend off, I was still doing some of my unsolds on the back end and doing offers on my phone. So even though we were taking the weekend off and spending it with Bill and David, I was still on my phone doing offers on Poshmark and counter offering on eBay and stuff like that. So even when you're off, you still want to make sure that you're paying attention to messages and offers. That's not to say you have to do it all day, every day. You know, even on a normal day, if you go to the movie theater with your kids, clearly you can ignore your phone for 2 hours for a movie and then just catch up later. But you still have to work every day. You have to stick to a schedule. You must. You must have a schedule, and this goes back into the self-motivation and the drive and the work ethic. You've got to say, this is my time I work, and this is when I work. It doesn't have to be one chunk. It doesn't have to be all at once. You have to figure out what works for you, like Jody just said. Not let other things interfere. So if you need to get up and work 2 hours in the morning and then put your kids on the bus and work while they're at school and take the rest of the day off, okay. If you work better at, I'm going to use Robert as an example. He likes to work at night and sleep late, so he does that. I kind of like to split mine up. I like to do a bunch of work first thing in the morning on the computer, all my work, and have coffee at that time. And then I get showered and quote unquote pretty. And I do my videos, my listing, my photos and stuff. But I usually run any errands I need in between. So I kind of like work in chunks, like 4 hour to 3 hour to 4 hour chunks. And then I do other stuff. Figure out what works for you, but stick to it. Find a schedule that works with your family life, your other responsibilities, everything else you have to balance on your plate, your own personal sleep schedule and all of that, and you build your schedule around it. Remember at the beginning of the video when I said you're going to build your work around your life? But you got to stick to it. And I always recommend that people write it down, make to-do lists, write your schedule somewhere, write your routine somewhere, have a bullet journal or just notebooks, and write these things down so that you're sticking to it and doing it every single day. You need to be organized. Please, please, please start an inventory system early. Early. Start it yesterday. If you don't have a good inventory system from the start, you are going to end up spending months later fixing it. Trust me. Because ask me how I know. Ask me how I know if you have a bad inventory system in the beginning, why you'll be stuck fixing tons of it later. So make sure that's organized. Your shipping area where you're going to ship is organized. You don't want to be running back and forth from room to room or up and down stairs looking for supplies. You want to just have them all at hand. You want a shipping station. Do you stay a day ahead of listings? No. Sometimes. Yes. That's my answer. If I have extra time and I feel like it, I might put some together and put them in drafts. But not always as a rule. Weekends off, I just consider those to be weekends off, and they're just not going to have any listings that weekend. So the answer is yes and no. It kind of is whatever I want to do, whatever I feel like doing, whatever I have time for. Right now, no, because we are so super busy with everything going on. We got 6 weeks left. I'm looking at my arm. I don't even wear a watch. We're leaving in 6 weeks for Florida, so no. I definitely. So, Thrifty Space Queen, you're a longtime viewer. Tisk tisk, you should already be writing all this stuff down because I've been saying it for years. So I get it all done because I write it all down and I have a schedule. So when I first get up in the morning, I have these tasks that I do. After my shower, it's these tasks. I just make time for it. You just have to. You just have to schedule it in. So I do list pretty much every day. I do my unsolds every morning. I do all my YouTube comments, all my social media and emails in the morning. We do shipping every day. I do sometimes take extra photos so I don't have to do photos. So I don't do photos every day. I'll do extra so I don't have to. But there is 2 of us, but of course we are also doing twice the business as most people doing this alone. So you have to schedule it. You have to figure out what you need to get done in a day and you have to make it happen. That's just what you have to do. That's part of being self-employed. If you're not getting everything done, you need to sit down and think about why. What's going on? Is it out of your control or is it within your control? Because if it's out of your control and it's other responsibilities in your life, then you're really going to have to rethink of how you schedule things. And if it's because you're just not getting it done because you're farting around on Facebook or wasting time, then that's something you need to fix for yourself. So I do break them up because I do certain things at certain times. And I've just made that schedule based on what I was saying earlier for you guys. You got to work it around your life. I have physical therapy twice a week and I have to work around that and stuff. So if you write things down, you'll figure them out. That's the easiest way. I swear by it. And I tell people, do your list, do your bullet journals. Because if you write down everything you need to do and everything you want to do and everything you're not doing, you'll figure it out. Because your subconscious, I think, clicks in while you're writing. Welcome in, everybody who's been listening to me harp about bullet journals for 3 years. I was on vacation last week for her daughter's birthday at Disney World. I am doing my inventory check or count before I start listing. Yep, it's always good to do that a couple times a year. So I go in every morning, Nicole, and you can go on your Seller Hub. I'm going to actually show you instead of just talking at you. And then we're going to talk about the last couple things I have here. But I'll show you this real quick. Let me share my screen because I know how. Oh, boy, you guys don't want to hear me sing. Okay, sharing the screen. There we go. Nope, we want it bigger than that. You don't want to snack like... Okay, there we go. So you go in the back end, and over here, you should have time left, and you can do it what has the most time left, right? So these are like newer things we've just put in today. And you can go by earliest. So I go in every single morning, first thing, I get my coffee, and I sit down at the computer before I do any social media. Or, no, I would be lying to you. Sorry, I do offers first. So I sit down with my coffee. I go on Poshmark. Any new likes since last night, I send out offers. And then I bulk offers on eBay. Then I come in here and I make sure this is least amount of time up top. And it'll be red if it's ending in the next 24 hours. Since I do this every single morning at the same exact time pretty much, it's usually between 8:30 and 9:30. The 24 hours is enough. And these will be red. So everything that's red, that's going to end on its own within 24 hours and be automatically relisted on that good till canceled, I come over here and check mark it all. Right? So I'll scroll down to where it ends. Let's say it ended here. I'd be like, okay, this there's the first one. And then I would just go up and check each one. Actions end. Boom. Then you go to your unsolds and they would all be there. And then you could, I need to delete this one. You could sell similar from there, whether you wanted to do one by one and fix stuff as you go, or you could do the bulk. And that's how I do it. I just force them to end 24 hours ahead of time. All right, so you want to grow your business by listing every day, working every day, sticking to these schedules. You want to research and learn. You got to source all the time to make sure you have enough inventory to list. The researching and learning should never end. I'm still researching and learning every day. No one is ever expert enough that they can't learn something new. Things you should be doing. And this should go for hobby sellers and part-time as well. These are all things resellers should be doing. You should be following best business practices. You should be sending out offers, especially if you're on Poshmark. You guys understand that the culture there, the offers are expected. The buyers on Poshmark want to like something or put things in a bundle or have you bundle stuff and send them offers. That's just how the Poshmark climate is, I guess, the community. That's just what's expected. So you should absolutely be doing that. I think on Mercari, offers help a lot as well. There's no nice way to say this, but I think Mercari buyers are cheapskates. And so they want that offer. I would say it's necessary on eBay. There are people who say it's not. I think it's the best business practice. I'll put it that way. If you're not doing offers and you're still successful, then you probably have something that's in high demand, high sell-through rate like electronics, or something very, very rare. Obviously, if you're selling antique vintage furniture that no one can find anywhere else and you're one of 3 things listed, you don't really have to do offers, right? But if you're doing a lot of plush and used clothing, you want to do offers. So I guess it kind of, if you have high demand, fast moving stuff, electronics, vintage, antiques, things that are unique, you can probably get away without it. But I think offers are necessary. I think best offers should be on, and I think that y'all should be pricing high enough to accommodate that. And that's the next best business practice, is to price your stuff at what it's worth. I'm not going to get up on my soapbox tonight because we're already 40 minutes in and I have a couple more things. But longtime subscribers and viewers, y'all know about my soapbox. Don't race to the bottom. Don't go for that fast nickel. Please don't be the turds that ruin it for everybody else. I have seen so many brands over the last however many years I've been doing this. I don't want to think about that because that requires math. And 2020 never happened, and I always forget that was a year. But I have seen like 7 for All Mankind. I used to start at 45 and 50. Now I start them at 25 because that's all I can get for them. Lucky Brand. I used to start at 35. You're lucky if you can get 20 now. So, price your stuff at what it's worth. Don't just race to the bottom and try to get. Here's the thing. I'm going to say one more thing, and then I'll get off the soapbox. If you want to be successful and you want to do this full time, you need to maximize your profits at every bend. You have to. If you save 10 cents on shipping, but you do 100 packages a day or a week, that adds up. And you have to make as much profit, and you have to save yourself pennies everywhere you can, because it all adds up. Things can get out of control very quickly. And if you're losing $20 a pair of jeans because you think silvers should sell at the price I get Old Navy for, silver jeans should never be sold at 20 or 25. I cannot get over the fact that people are doing that. They're $40 to $50 jeans. soapbox. But if you're selling, 3 a week, that's $240 a month. That is over $24,000 a year. I don't know. It's just ridiculous. Price your stuff at what it's worth. There is a perceived value, and if people see your stuff selling for really, really low and cheap, they might think something's wrong with it anyway and not buy you. I sell my higher price stuff all the time. That goes into the next best business practices. I think free shipping is the way to go. It's not really free. It's built into the price. So if somebody sells a pair of jeans for $20 plus $8 shipping, you can list the same darn jeans for $30, best offer, free shipping, and then you have room to wiggle down to 25 to 28. You're fine. People psychologically look for free shipping. They look for a deal. 9 out of 10 people I know that shop online search for free shipping over not. I know that when they return it, you have to give the shipping back if you don't charge shipping, but the amount of returns versus the amount of sales you'll make by having free shipping on doesn't offset. By having free shipping on, you're going to sell so much more that you're not going to notice the couple of returns where you're refunding the shipping, honestly. And buyers like it. This world is very much accommodating to buyers. Buyers are coddled on Amazon. Buyers are coddled on eBay. And they're used to Prime. They're used to free shipping. So you want to have that on. I usually send out offers at about 10% off. A little bit more on Poshmark, but I price way higher. So Poshmark about 10 to 20. And eBay just 10%. Mercari like 10%. So I offer $4.99 shipping. That's the one I choose. It's the one I've been using since I started on Posh before they had the other option. So we offer $4.99. We do sometimes offer free shipping. If we had, we've had some football jerseys that were up for $100. I'd offer, 90 free ship. Something that's really expensive like that on Poshmark, I would offer free shipping just to see if I can't get it to move. But I wouldn't do it right away. That item would have to have sat for at least a month before I start offering free shipping. And usually only on really expensive items. Poshmark buyers are used to paying shipping, and that kind of goes against what I just said. But on eBay, they're looking for free shipping. Mercari has outrageous shipping, so they're really looking for free shipping over there. They don't know the difference between paying for shipping and having it built into the price. Trust me, I promise, they don't know. But on Poshmark, they're used to paying for it. So, yes, so we price so that we can do both. And sales are my next little tick here. Part of best business practices, especially on eBay, is to run sales. If you have a store subscription, you can run markdown sales. And you should be pricing your items high enough so that you can do both. You should have sales running 24 hours a day, but they should end every 2 days and start again. The reason you want them ending and restarting is because a sale that has like an indefinite end that looks like it's going on forever and ever, a buyer will ignore. Oh, I got 6 weeks to buy that. That sale doesn't go out for a month. I think 45 days is actually the longest you can run a sale out. That's too long. Anytime a buyer looks at something that's on sale and has a long time, they're going to think to themselves, oh, I don't need to buy this. I have 2 weeks, I have a month, whatever it is. And they're going to think they're going to come back, and they never do. And you've just lost a sale. If you set your markdown sales to start and stop every 48 hours, then they're going to see it ends in a day or less than a day. That creates a sense of urgency, and they need to buy it now because that sale's going to run out. It's in red. When they're looking at a listing that they're about to purchase or thinking of purchasing and you have a sale on it, that sale is in red, ticking down, telling them how long they have left. You want to create that sense of urgency. You don't want to create the, I can come back whenever I want. You want to make them think, I got 2 hours. I got to buy this now. But you should be pricing high enough that you can do it. So let's say, for example, and for brevity, if I want $20 for a shirt, everyone else is listing it between 14 to 16 plus shipping. So I know I can do like 20 free shipping. I'm okay. Because it's like about $4 to ship it, right? So I know I want 20. I know I want to have free shipping. I know I want to have best offer. I know I want to run a sale. I'm going to list that shirt for $24.99. Then when my 20% off sale hits, it's on sale for $19.99. And I can still offer down to around $18 and be okay. So you have to price right. I absolutely think you should have best offers on and be running sales. But what do I know? What do I know, right? People are always telling me I'm wrong. And I'm like, well, I do this full time and you don't. So what do I know? I don't know. So I don't charge shipping on Mercari. I just build it into my price the same way I do on eBay, and I offer the buyer free shipping. And then I do my shipping on Pirate Ship, and they give you a pretty good discount. So your best business practices that you should be doing are offers, free shipping, running sales, pricing your items what they're worth, pricing them high enough that you have wiggle room to haggle. Buyers want to haggle. Buyers want a deal. Buyers want to get the last word. This is how buyers are. I think people have been like that since dinosaurs walked the earth, but I think it's even worse now because Amazon and eBay have trained them to be so. You need to make sure that you've got really good photographs, guys. You need to have good lighting, a good background. You need to, wow, I haven't seen you in forever. I'm like freaking out. Hey, Jason, welcome in. Happy birthday, by the way. I saw it was your birthday. Happy birthday, buddy. And thanks for coming in. I saw your name pop up and I kind of the brain fart like, what? Happy birthday. So the government's going to take money from you, whether you're selling on eBay and making profits or you're flipping hamburgers at McDonald's. I can't say it any simpler or less snotty. If you sell on eBay, you got to pay the IRS their share. If you get a paycheck from Walmart, Target, if you're a broker, a real estate agent, if you flip hamburgers for a living, it doesn't matter what you do, the IRS is going to get their share. That's part of our laws here. That's part of the federal laws, the IRS, and this is part of just being an American. So if I sound like I'm getting neat, it's because I fight every day with people who send me messages about taxes. It's just, I can't help you. You got to pay taxes. The only difference is when you used to work for someone else, they took it out of your check before you saw it. Now you have to be a responsible adult, take care of it for yourself. But they're going to take your money no matter where you work. It's part of being an American and it's part of the law. And I promise you guys, I have never been to DC and sat in a boardroom with tax agents and passed laws. I promise you, it's not my fault. Don't shoot the messenger. We've all got to pay taxes. All right, you got to have good photos. So have good lighting, good background. Consider Photo Room app. It's free. Makes your backgrounds nice and white. And you want to have good keywords. You want to have a good title. You want to be using the formula you should be using for the title, which is brand, what it is, gender, size, and then your keywords from left to right in order of importance. You want to put them in order of importance because if you run out of room, that's okay. You have the most important keywords up front. It is very valuable real estate up there, so you want to make sure that you use that area wisely. And the preferred formula for the algorithm is brand, what it is, gender, size, keywords. You can do that with Plush. Brand, what it is, size, inches, keywords. The algorithm picks up those titles and gives them a boost. And make sure your keywords are going from most important to least, because you can run out if you didn't put long sleeve, but maybe pearl snap and western and cowboy were more important. And learn your comps. Learn your comps. Look at Terapeak. Look at the solds on eBay. They only go back 3 months, I believe, 90 days. Look at Terapeak. You can look at different, you can look up to a year ago. You can see what things really sell for. Yep, that is actually absolutely true. They get their share. Photo Room app is the best thing ever. We had a bunch of old stuff that we were getting ready to pull and donate before we moved to Florida. And instead of pulling it and donating it, I just fixed the photos with the Photo Room app and put them back in, or switched them out, changed the photos, and raised the prices back up because they had been discounted. And a lot of the stuff sold at full price just because of the difference of having a better background. Now, these were old photos. Like, my new ones look nice, but not always. We all started somewhere. I can't answer that question. Taxes and pirate ship are two different things. So if Macari's charging the taxes, that doesn't really have anything to do with you using pirate ship for shipping, right? Am I understanding that? You're saying they're charging taxes, but then you're using pirate ship. They still have to charge taxes on what you made. Worth point. Yeah, that's a good one if you have rarities and antiquities. I wouldn't recommend it for plush or jeans. I mean, literally, if you really wanted to comp plush, you could just go to Robert's store and go on the back end and see what he's doing, or mine. And if you wanted to look at jeans, you could look at me or Megan's store. That's another place to comp a lot of folks don't think of. Find sellers that you trust that have public stores and dig through them. All right. There's 4 things you cannot be if you want to be a successful full-time reseller. You can't be lazy. Sorry to disappoint you, but if you're lazy, you're never going to succeed. You're never going to succeed. You can't be lazy in this. You can't be a procrastinator. So those of you that are still saying you haven't made your list, make them. Stop procrastinating. Just go make a list. Stop it. Do it. Only when you use their shipping do they tax. I haven't noticed any extra taxes coming out that shouldn't be, so I really don't know how to answer that question. I also don't sell a lot on Macari, and I always do free shipping, and then we pay for our labels on pirate ship. So I haven't seen anything other than the normal, what you would normally have. Does that make sense? But we don't sell a lot over there. And Keith actually does the labels on pirate ship. So he could have noticed it, and I'm talking out my ass, and I don't know what I'm talking about. But I haven't personally noticed it when we do the books. Okay, so you can't be lazy. You cannot be a procrastinator. You cannot be disorganized. You cannot be disorganized. I'm telling you right now, if you spend 2 hours looking for 2 sales that you need to ship today, you're a mess and you need to fix your life. You need to get organized. I mean, Keith and I can pull, package, label 30 to 50 things in like an hour and a half between 2 people. And you know why we can do it so easily and so quickly? Because we're organized. Because we know exactly where items are. We have the location in our SKU line. We go upstairs. We go to the bins where they're supposed to be. Hey, they're where they're supposed to be. And they're in their numbered slot. We can pull them down. We come downstairs on top of this table, and under this table is everything we could ever need. Our boxes, our tissue paper, our poly bags. And then on this little rolly cart you guys sometimes see is tape, more tape, scissors, thank you cards, everything. So we just go pull it, we bring it down, we slap it on the table, we put it together. We print out our sheets, our labels, and slap them on. It's that quick. So don't be disorganized. Seriously, you'll thank me. I'm not ever, not to say it's not what you do, if that's what you want to do. I'm never going to charge shipping on Mercari because it is way too expensive. It's way too high. When I know I can get it cheaper on Pirate Ship and just build it into the price, I think it's more attractive to buyers. Just like I was saying about free shipping on eBay, it's more attractive. Most people will want to buy something 20 free ship rather than 18 plus 6 ship or whatever. Because Mercari does charge a lot for shipping to the buyers, like way too much. It's like eBay's prices are based on USPS, I think, and Mercari's are supposedly, but they come out really high. So just, I shouldn't say never. If something weighs more than a pound, I still do that on Pirate Ship. I'll charge calculated on eBay for heavy stuff, but it's just too much. I've just heard I have friends that sell Mercari full time, like don't even really do eBay, and that's their advice. So Pirate Ship doesn't either charge. It's really cheap over there. I just feel like free shipping's better. But you do you. Everybody's got to do them. I got friends who've never done free shipping ever, and they're fine. So take my advice for what it is. I just do what works for me, and that's what I teach people. Oh, well, thank you so much. I just read this, Thrifty Hokey. Every time I watch something, I learn something new. And you're paying your medical bills. That's always a good thing. There you go. There's an example of a Mercari price. It's ridiculous. You can get 3 pounds on Pirate Ship across the country to California from Pennsylvania for like $9 or $10, I think. I'm trying to think of the heaviest plush I've ever had. It was like 2 to 3 pounds, I think. All right, so, you can't be self-depreciating, okay? So there's a difference between being self-motivating and self-depreciating. Self-motivating is saying, you waste too much time on Facebook, Star, get off your butt, go work. And noticing that I'm doing something that's not productive and kicking myself in the butt and getting myself in gear. Self-depreciating is when things happen outside of your scope of control, and then you berate yourself. I can't do this. I'm not successful. I'll never make it. I'll never do it. I'll never be able to go full time. If you're telling yourself stuff like that, and the reason you're not hitting your goals is outside of your control, if you have medical issues, if you have chronic pain, if you have kids, if you have just stuff going on in your life, just take a step back and look at it and decide 20 things a day is not realistic for me. I just can't do it. Knock it down to 10. Maybe you'll do good at 10, and then you don't have to beat yourself up. Now, if your goal is 10 a day and you're only hitting 2 because you're wasting time, that's when you need to be self-motivating. So self-depreciating and self-motivating, one is very negative, and you need to throw it out the door and get rid of it. Don't beat yourself up. Get up and try again. Do it over. Try again. Do better. Make your lists. Make your goals. And just always achieve to be better and be growing your business. But don't beat yourself up when it doesn't happen. Just figure out why it didn't happen and fix it. If it was something you could control, you can fix it. If it's not, then you just need to reassess your goals and how much you need to do each day and how you're going to get it accomplished. And you do that by writing it down. You have to write things down, I think, to make them real. And that said, make sure you're a part of our Facebook group, the Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. We do check in for the listing challenges over there. Everybody in there encourages each other and keeps each other going. Just a really great group to be a part of. But that is where we check in for the listing challenge. I saw a couple of folks post over the weekend they couldn't find the June challenge. It's always in the announcements. So if you're a member of the group now or you're going to join it later, Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod, there's a link down below. Or you can search for it. Always check the announcements. Always, always. All the important stuff is always in the announcements. And they're pinned right at the top. You can just look through them. So that said, I guess the only thing I have left to tell you guys is go be productive. Go make some money. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, hanging out, and chatting with me. Hopefully you can take something away from this. Come back and watch the replay if you need to and take notes. Get yourself motivated. Get yourself excited. Believe it or not, it'll be here before you know it. It's almost Q4. So hit the thumbs up if you would. It really helps the channel. Please subscribe if you haven't. Help us feed these hungry hippos. You would not believe how much they eat. And again, thanks so much for joining me. You guys are the best. Love you. Bye.